On the 38th episode of the Vero Beach Social Media Pop-Up Podcast, we have Angela Murray from Red Spark Creative, and we talk all about branding, the importance of branding, why you shouldn't have misspellings in your logo.
Yeah, totally.
What it's like to work with your spouse.
Yep.
And the differences between Vero Beach and New Zealand.
Yeah, perfect.
So give it a listen. You're going to love it. I guarantee it. Here we go. All right, everybody. Welcome to the 38th episode of the Vero Beach Social Media Pop-Up Podcast. If you've listened or seen the podcast before, you know that we normally show up at other places, other businesses locally and set up. But now we have this gorgeous studio and we need to use it. Yeah. So from now on, the podcast will be done in here. And I have with me a really good friend of mine and one of the owners of Red Spark Creative. Yep. And Angie Murray. I was going to say Angela, but we're that close.
Angie's
good. Mm-hmm. All right. Angie Murray. So how are you today?
I'm great. I'm really excited to be here, Curtis. It's good to be back and seeing you.
Awesome. When I decided to bring the podcast back, I started thinking about people that would be fun to have on. And you're actually based out of New Zealand, but you happen to be here for a short while. And I thought, if I have the opportunity to have Angie on, I got to do it.
Well, thank you. I feel really honored. Thanks for that, Curtis.
So let's talk a little bit about Red Spark. Yep. What is it? What's Red Spark Creative?
Okay, so Red Spark is a husband and wife graphic design team. My husband, Ross, is our creative director. So he is the creative talent in the business. And what I get to do in the business is connect with people, which is what I love to do. So I'm building relationships. I'm understanding what people's needs are within their business, their pain points, how they want to market themselves. And then with all that knowledge, I take it back to Ross and we start creating marketing materials and branded materials for our clients to help them succeed in their business.
It's amazing how important branding is.
Absolutely.
Obviously, in my industry, we see this a lot, and I'll get calls all the time from people that don't have a branding guide, don't have a logo. I got a call the other day from somebody that had a logo that looked nice, but there were 2 misspelled words in the logo.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And I thought,
can I get their number?
Yeah, right. I thought if I saw that as a consumer, if I was looking for their services, I would never hire them.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. If your brand is not projecting a polished aesthetic, something that looks great, but also is effective, you're diluting your brand. You are diluting your business, and that's not good. Your competitors are going to take over. So it's very important to have an effective, positive brand that works.
So it's you and your husband that run this thing. And how long have you done this?
Well, we have been living in New Zealand for almost 20 years. So we have had the business the entire time we've been there. But before that, we've lived all around the world. I met my husband in London, but we did work for other agencies before this. We started Red Spark, I guess, as a side business when we lived in California in, I want to say, early 2000s. And then we moved to New Zealand in 2006. And that's when we really launched it. We weren't working for anyone else. We said, we're taking the plunge. We had a young family and we wanted to start our own business. So it's been around for 20 years.
So I work with my wife full time.
Yeah.
You work with your husband full time. I'd love to hear your perspective on what it's like working with Ross all the time.
People ask me this all the time, and for us, it works because we have very different roles in the business. So, like I said before, I do what I love, which is connecting with people. I'm out meeting people all the time. I do networking events, and I just love people. He's tied to the desk. He's an introvert. He's very creative, and so his role is to create these beautiful marketing materials. So even though we work together, our roles are very different. We come together for briefing sessions. And I give a lot of feedback on the work that he's doing before I present it to the clients. But our roles are so different that we're not constantly in each other's pockets. And it definitely works. And, we love what we do. There's a shared goal of creating beautiful marketing materials for our clients. But also it gives us the opportunity to do what we love doing, and make money from it and support our families. So we're really happy with what we do, and it works.
Isn't it like the best?
The best. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So you're based in New Zealand.
Yep.
You and I actually met in BNI, which is a networking group. If you're listening or watching and you've never heard of BNI, it's like the greatest business building networking group you could ever have. But you belong to a BNI in New Zealand.
I do. I belong to a BNI group in New Zealand. I met you at a BNI group here because I actually was based in Florida for about a year and a half. I came for family reasons. And because I knew the value of BNI, I'd been a BNI member in New Zealand for about 16 years at that time. And when I came to Vero Beach, I thought, the first thing I need to do is build connections in Vero, friendships, business relationships, people I can support with their marketing needs, and B&I was a no-brainer. So actually, I met you, I don't know if you remember, you were the first person I met, and you were so welcoming. You were one of the reasons I thought, yep, this is a group that I want to belong to. So I do appreciate you for that, and it worked out very well for me.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, it has been awesome.
Back to Red Spark.
Yeah.
You said that you were in New Zealand, but you were here for a year and a half. Talk to me about what it's like to work not only in different time zones, I mean, polar opposite time zones.
Yeah.
You were here. Yes. Ross was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
What was that like as far as you having clients in the United States, clients in New Zealand, clients in other countries around the world?
Yeah.
How do you organize that? How do you do that?
Well, let's face it, post-COVID, Zoom is, everybody's using Zoom, and it's very easy. It was actually more fluid than we thought it would be. Aside from missing my husband, the work side of things it was pretty natural. I met with clients here locally in Vero during the day. Then I would work on proposals and quotes. But then in the evening, I was having Zoom meetings with my clients in New Zealand, and then also doing briefing sessions with Ross. So it worked. I mean, as I said, I missed him, and my eldest son was back there with him. My younger one was here with me. So it was tricky, but the work side of things, it's very easy. A lot of our clients are still outside of New Zealand. So we're based predominantly in New Zealand, but we have clients in California, in the UK, here in Vero, and it's just a matter of connecting with them. When I'm in the country, I see them in person, and when I'm abroad, I just connect on Zoom, and it's pretty fluid. It's working.
So talk to me about some of the marketing collateral that you guys design and that you create. Again, it's a worldwide business. So
Absolutely.
You're not printing stuff on your own. You're having someone do it. Let's talk about kind of the process of all that.
Yeah. So basically, when we are working with a client, the first thing we do before we do any designing is we have to understand their business. And so that requires what we call a discovery session. That's probably a buzzword, but we really get to know the person behind the business, what their values are, their mission, their goals, where they sit in their marketplace. And once we get a real understanding of the DNA of the business, then we can start on the design.
So I get asked this question a lot. Is there a specific industry that you work best in?
Well, when we were based in California before moving to New Zealand, we did a lot of work for the biotech, medical industry, because that was what was prevalent in San Diego, where we were based. But New Zealand is a small country. There's only 5 million people. So if we focused on one industry, we just wouldn't be able to survive as a business. So we work with what we call SMEs back in New Zealand. It's a small to mid-size enterprise. It's solopreneurs up to maybe 50 people in a business. And that's 98% of the businesses in New Zealand. So it makes sense that we would cater to them. We do have a couple of larger, corporate clients, but we really add a lot of value in the small to mid-sized businesses. They feel that we are part of the team. We're like their marketing team. And so as their success, as they succeed, I guess that's how we succeed. You know, we're doing work that helps them to stand out in their marketplace. And that makes me, I guess more critical, pivotal person in their business, as opposed to the corporates that have a lot of hierarchy, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you may not want to say this. Who's your favorite client?
I can't say that.
Okay,
I can't say that.
Fair enough.
That's a hard one. They're
enough.
all my favorites. They're all great.
Fair enough.
All great.
Fair enough. When it comes to design, specifically graphic design, there are a lot of tools lately that people have been using. I'll say Canva for one, but there's a million of them. Have you noticed that there's a lot of people that try to emulate what you do, but can't necessarily duplicate what you do?
Absolutely. We have clients, everybody's on a budget, let's face it. And so we have clients trying to DIY. And oftentimes they'll come to me. I mean, I had this just last week. One of our clients came to me and said, hey, she's a business coach. I'm promoting some workshops that I'm doing. Here's what Canva gave me. It doesn't look like me. The design it's not what I want. Can you kind of take this and recreate it to something that's effective, looks good, and is brand aligned? So that's where we can help. I mean, the good thing about those tools is they're great for generating ideas, and clients like to have a play around, but they ultimately come back and go, Ange, this just isn't working. Can you please enhance it? To be honest, it does probably reduce the cost for them. So if they've got an idea and a vision that they want us to go from, we can do that without having to start from scratch.
Right.
So there is some value in that, but a lot of clients just go, I've tried, I've spent 3 hours on it, it looks like crap, just do your thing. So yeah, they're there, but you kind of have to have the eye, you have to have, I guess, the creative talent, and that's where Ross and I add value.
My favorite is when somebody will come to me with like a 100 kilobyte PNG and say,
Yeah.
I want to use this for whatever.
Yeah.
Like I can't even put that in a video.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, come on, you need somebody to vector this. You need somebody that, just get this done right. So with Canva and things like that, people come up with the idea, they give it to you, you guys are able to fix it. The big buzzword, you mentioned buzzwords before, is artificial intelligence, AI, ChatGPT. How has that affected your business?
Again, it's pretty similar. So oftentimes they're trying to use ChatGPT for language, for messaging, and that actually is really helpful. When it comes to the design side of things, you have to remember with AI and like ChatGPT, for instance, if you prompt it and you're not prompting it correctly, you're going to get, crap in, crap out. So people always ask me, do you think AI is going to take over your job and other jobs? I say, maybe not AI, but maybe the people who know how to use it and prompt it, down the line. But what I have found once again is clients will try to generate, let's say, their own logo. And remember, it's just taking data from the internet that already exists. So you're not going to get that human element. You're not going to get your values, what makes you unique. You put in certain prompts. Let's say you're a plumber and another plumber is putting in the same prompt. You're going to be getting very similar output. There's no uniqueness. There is AI and then there's the human eye and the human connection. There's something called human-based branding. I don't know if you know about that.
Never heard this. Talk to me about it.
So human-based branding is basically putting the customer at the heart of your branding and your marketing. So again, we'll take the story of a plumber. A plumber can say that he has, he'll fix your toilet, he'll fix your leak. He has 24/7 call out, but that is just what he does. Literally what we want is to tell a story. So, human-based branding for a plumber would be like, we keep your home dry and cozy, and they'll tell a story like, it was Christmas Day and the plumbing broke and I had 20 people coming, and you need to be able to create that visually. I know you do it with videography for your social media, but it has to be told in a way that creates a story. You're not going to get that same nuance when you're doing it through AI. You need to have someone who understands the story, what you're trying to convey, and then create the visuals and the messaging around that. So AI just isn't there yet for that.
We talk about differentiators in different businesses, and if you've got two commodities, right? Why am I choosing this one over this one? And a lot of times it's the story.
It's absolutely the story.
I'm not buying the product.
No.
Again, I can get this bottle of water from anybody, but why did I buy this bottle of water? Well, for me, it's got the VBSM logo on. That's why I bought that one.
Yeah.
So that was the differentiator.
Absolutely.
But how does Aquafina versus Dasani?
Yeah.
Why are you picking one or the other? And it sounds funny, but sometimes it's the brand.
Absolutely.
I love the way that logo
looks. The visual as well. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's why it's so important to have a brand that looks professional. It really does dilute your brand if, like you said, there was a misspelling, or it's just something that looks like it's a dated look and feel, the typography, all of those things, consciously or subconsciously, they really do impact. So having a professional brand makes all the difference. So
how do you guys, other than BNI, I'm going to go all the way back to this, how do you guys get business?
Let's face it, we've been in business now for 20 years. Most of it is word of mouth. We do social media. We have, all the socials. We have recently engaged a LinkedIn specialist to actually help with our content creation. So that's going to be launching soon. There's lots of ways in which we generate business. We have in the past done print advertising. That's long gone. It's our website generates a lot of work for us. But I think for me, there's a lot of human connection. So I get out, I visit people, the networking still works, but you can't go past social, what social media gives you for a more global exposure. And so we're using that as well.
We talk about word of mouth. Word of mouth is always going to be, not always, for most businesses, word of mouth is going to be your number one lead generator.
Absolutely.
And we always say word of mouth, social media is word of mouth in the 21st century.
Absolutely.
And so, you've got people, especially locally, we have Vero Beach Neighborhood, which I'm sure you've seen.
Yes.
It's a great word of mouth resource.
Absolutely.
And word of mouth generally is I've got to be talking to you, or I've got to call you, or maybe even text or email. But now I can hit the masses with word of mouth.
Absolutely.
And it could be an incredibly valuable tool. So you're using all of those resources, and then are you still getting clients in Vero or?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely, I am. So, I mean, that was mostly from the time that I spent here, that year and a half that I spent here. But now when people see my Facebook post or a LinkedIn post, I'm still getting feedback from those people that I met here in Vero. I mean, they met me there, was a connection already, but that's constantly reinforcing it. That social media, whether it's LinkedIn or Insta or Facebook, it's critical still, because out of sight, out of mind, like you said, having that social presence, it's just keeping me top of mind to people that, I worked with when I was living here. So very critical to the marketing mix. Absolutely.
I imagine Auckland and Vero Beach are very similar. And just like you said, the whole island of New Zealand, the whole country is 5 million people. Yeah. Indian River County, we have about 170,000 people versus, your neighbor, Australia, has, I don't know how many people, but probably more than 5 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our neighbors in St. Lucie and Brevard County have way more than us. So we kind of live in this little silo. And I want to talk to you about quality of work and how important that is. Because if I were in Dade County or in Orlando or Tampa or whatever, I could probably get away with some shoddy work and still get clients. But our ability to get clients is very finite.
Yes.
is very small. Talk to me about that in New Zealand and how that works for you and why quality is so important.
Quality is important no matter how big the size of your target audience is. So while New Zealand is small, Auckland is where we're based, and that's a city of 1.7 million. So it's a bigger target audience. And what that means is our clients really know the value of investing in a professional brand, because there's a lot of competition in Auckland. But what I found with Vero is actually quite unique as other small towns or cities are. Vero has this amazing culture of buying local. So you can you can be a small brand and establish a really great, solid reputation and a loyal following locally because of the culture of Vero, which is wonderful. However, Vero also has the advantage of being able to be present online, so they can sell all over the world. They can be, they can have a global market, and people around the world love to buy from small cities, small towns, especially artisan products. So Vero has this unique ability to be both a local resource and where people really want to support you, but also have this global presence, and that's one of the great things about it. For us, working with Vero businesses, we want to give everybody access to high-level professional branding, but at an economical price. So one of the things we offer for local businesses and in New Zealand is we'll give them extended terms. So if a client really wants a professional-looking brand, but they don't have the budget to spend all at once, we will extend terms for 6 months, 12 months, and I would suspect other people would too. I mean, everyone wants to help everyone. I feel post-COVID, there's a real sense of, hey, let's everybody get back on track and support each other. So there are ways for small businesses to get good branding, good marketing, and we're all about helping people here and around the world to do that.
Yeah, I think just like you said, it's important for every business to have, in every business. I'm not talking about the big ones or the medium ones. I mean, if you are a solopreneur,
absolutely,
it's so important. And I've said this before, that your branding and your branding guide and everything is on point.
Absolutely.
And again, if you've got to draw out the payments for a little bit, or you got to do whatever you got to do,
absolutely,
you got to get it done.
Yeah.
How have you seen branding? And again, I'm going back to the social media side. How have you seen branding hurt on social media, or have you?
I absolutely have. If you're DIYing it and you're not doing it well, it really dilutes your brand. So you have to make sure that, I suggest working with professionals like you. I've seen the work you do, and it's exceptional, as opposed to people that are trying to do it on their own, and it's really just lacking. I think having a sounding board, even if people want to do it on their own, they should talk to professionals and really get some guidance. And even if it's just paying for a bit of, consultation, it's really important. People are going to see it. You need to make sure you're putting your best foot forward, whether it's your logo in print or on digital or on signage. Having a professional brand is imperative across all platforms.
Right. I couldn't have said that better. Those are really the questions that I had for you. Would you like to add anything, or
just that it's been awesome seeing you again? It's great to be back in Vero. I've been coming to Vero every year for the last 20 years, so I feel like it's a second home. But I didn't really start connecting on with the business community, I guess, on that level until I was here for an extended period of time. So it feels great to be back with friends like you, and I'm just really enjoying it. Thanks for having me today.
It's been great to see you. I'm glad you're back. I'm sorry that it's for a short amount of time.
Okay.
I want Ross to come back so we can golf again.
Yeah, Christmas. I'm going to try and get him over for Christmas. Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll set a golf date.
I can't wait.
Sounds
I can't
good.
wait. Well, thank you again for coming on. Again, Red Spark Creative. How do people get a hold of you if they want great branding?
Yeah, so easiest way is our website. It's redsparkcreative.co.nz or redspark.co. Let me just explain. Co is C-O and .nz. So redspark.co.nz. And while I'm in Vero, you can give me a call at 772-258-2033. Thanks, everyone.
Great. Well, thanks again. And for all of you that have made it all the way through this, thank you for watching. And this will be a routine thing. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So great. Well, thanks again.
Pleasure.